for a guitar playing sort of situation. I wanted to learn more about poetry, and acting was never in the picture. So I picked up the guitar, and I was sent to this man because I'd started developing an I love for art, but acting was never in the picture, man. So when I was a child, my mother was always trying to keep me busy, and I think that's what kept me out of trouble. So I was sent to these poetry sessions because I was doing a lot of hip hop and rap music, and I was writing poetry. I actually started writing poetry. So I get sent to this man because I went to a poetry evening, and at this poetry evening, this man by the name of by the name of Quebis Moman, who's a great writer, novelist. He then, I meet him, and he says to me, "Your son is very talented. He writes very well, but he needs to explore other art forms. He needs to look into music." So there I was, my mother trying to figure this thing out, and I'm still in primary school actually. So I'm probably like 12, 11, and I get the address to this guy, this Hector Peterson guy. Don't know what I'm expecting. Come to find that he's actually just a few kilometers from my house. And and I meet him and I walk there, and turns out he works at Project Gateway, which is an old prison that turned into an arts complex at the time. So I walk in and I meet this very rough looking Indian man, and you can see he's oozing art. This is long before I even thought about acting. And he says to me, "So what do you want to do?" So my mother leaves me there, and I say, "Well, I want to learn, what you do." So for the next couple of months, I would go to him after school, and that was my extramural activity. And he just basically taught me how to handle the guitar. And the interesting thing is, when I started playing, I don't play now, but when I started playing, he was very strict about how to hold the guitar. Said, "Don't be rough with the guitar, make sure it feels comfortable." And he also said, "You need to make sure that when you play, you don't bang the guitar. You play as softly as you can." And when I think about all these different lessons that I learned, because I also met him years later when I was much older, in fact recently, and I bumped into him, and he was so happy to see me, and he actually gave me these drums. So this drum is from the Congo. It's from Kenya. This one is a djembe that I bought, but he gave me that one as a present. And it's quite a rare drum, with goat skin from Kenya. And when he gave it to me, he said, "I can see now that you've taken on the role of becoming a storyteller. So I want to give you musical instruments that will help you move into your world." So I'm saying this to tell you that sometimes you don't know where your journey is going to take you. Sometimes you might think you are going somewhere, but you might end up somewhere else. And people think I wanted to become an actor because of my dad, but that's not actually true. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I actually thought that my journey was to become a hip hop artist. And at some point, I thought it was to become a musician, but I think acting stole me. And but the lessons I learned from Hector really refined my understanding of the critical stages of creating music in a script, and understanding where it all fits in. And I'm glad I learned those lessons, because they made me what I am today.